Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday, March 15th, 2025. It's a cold and windy day here in Pittston, Pennsylvania. And if you haven't already guessed, we are going to be riding RDC number 9164 from Pittston to Jim Thorpe today. And this is 9164's first day of revenue service on the R&N Railroad. Say good morning to our friendly ticket agent, Tim.
Hello. Welcome to the Ticket Coffee Hut.
We got free coffee.
Not free coffee. It's the drive-thru.
Well, if you don't ask, the answer's already no. Well, you guys know I wish this was my seat for the day, but no such luck. Let's go find something else.
We'll see you later.
All right. It's time, guys. And you probably also know that this RDC number 9164 is very special to me, and that's because it's the first one of our 5 that I've done the graphics for. Alright, you'll notice on this RDC, as with most, the windows do not open, but we have replaced a few. It is a little bit cold to start the day, but this seat will give me some options later in the ride. And this is also a special day because not only is it 9164's first revenue service day for us, but it's also the first time we ever used an RDC on the Pittston to Jim Thorpe train. that better memorized than me.
I've done it a few times.
I'm too used to having to have the paper in front of me.
Must be sleeping.
Well, you just woke him up.
He's actually the grandson of one of our car hosts, and his grandpa works on the train. He always says he has the responsible duties. He has to collaborate every time they go by. In just a moment, the train will be sending a horn for the Main Street Grade crossing here in the middle of Route 5. Junction, which originally called Smithville by the first of the settlers, was a small Polish town that reminded guests most of the jobs picked for the local coal mining industry. Its name was changed to DuPont after the DuPont Explosives Company. DuPont Explosives produced many northeastern Pennsylvania coal mines in the late 19th and 20th century. Now I'm going to be quiet for a little bit. We'll have some more information as we roll along. If anybody's looking for a snack or drink, we have water, soda, coffee, hot chocolate, cookies, crackers, candy, muffins, and more. All for purchasing up the little snack bar in front of the car. All snacks are $2 except for sodas. Soda's $3. Pay cash only.
Got Bigfoot coming up on the right side. Sendler's Dam that we're passing. And yes, Russ, I'm gonna take all the damn video I want. It's the best time of year to get a look at the dam. They deliberately demolished a portion of it so that this would lower the water level. The water level being Deep Hollow Pond. Everyone in the back fell asleep. I don't want to be one of them, so I'm going to get some coffee.
Alrighty.
Ah, looks perfect. There we go. So we do have a limited snack bar on this train. We got some cookies, M&Ms, crackers, a couple different kind of chips, a couple different kind of muffins. But to me, the only thing that matters right now is the coffee. So after we go through the neighborhoods of Pittston, Avoca, DuPont, and the surrounding area, the first half of the trip is primarily a climb up Penobscot Mountain. This is one of the steepest climbs on our railroad. And this single RDC is handling it just fine, but you can hear it working pretty hard. We crest the mountain at Solomon's Gap, which is just before our first station stop in Penobscot. And from there, it's pretty much a downhill run to Whitehaven, which is our second station stop, and then through the entirety of Lehigh Gorge into Jim Thorpe. Now, we offer a number of beautiful routes that you can ride here at Reading and Northern. This one happens to be my personal favorite. I guess I'm a little biased because I've worked it so often, but guys, it really is stunningly beautiful. It's a lot of rugged mountain scenery with some great vistas in this section for the first half of the trip. And then the second half of the trip, like I said, you get to see all 25 miles of Lehigh Gorge. Even when you ride the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway, you're really only catching about a third of Lehigh Gorge. And to me, it's just one of the most beautiful places on earth. And this trip gives you the best of both of those beautiful mountainous areas.
We are coming up to Laurel Road interlocking. We'll switch to a single track, switch to the rails of the former Central Railroad into Jersey, or CNJ for short. From Pittston to this point, we've operated over the former Lehigh Valley Railroad, once owned by Mason Packer. The CNJ and Lehigh Valley operated separate parallel railroad lines over the Penobscot Mountain until the mid-1960s, when due to harsh economic conditions, forced the two roads to rationalize and spliced the two lines together. This segment of Lehigh Valley Railroad ran from Penn Station in Manhattan, New York City to Buffalo, New York, over 440 miles.
The city of Wilkes-Barre now, and morning fog is still burning off. It was very foggy to the south when I drove up to Pittston. Pretty clear in Pittston, just with some patchy clouds in the sky. But as we head south, we're still dealing with some of the fog here. Route 309. Alright, there's that caboose that Tim mentioned. And Russ, I am so disappointed. I wanted to show you the cooling towers, but the fog is preventing us from seeing them. Gotta believe me though, they're there. So that's Solomon's Gap. Next we'll be passing through the Penobscot rail yard. And if we have any passengers to pick up at the Penobscot station, we will be doing that momentarily.
And as we go through Mountaintop, we'll arrive at the Penobscot station. We'll be pausing here momentarily to board more passengers. We're going to stop and ask that no one get off the train except for designated train crew members. Penobscot was once a bustling yard owned by the Central Railroad in New Jersey. In 2000, the Reading and Northern Railroad resurrected several of the yard tracks after being inactive for decades. At the south end of the yard at the station, watch for the interlocking tower style building that will be on our right. This building was completed in 2006 to serve as the offices and crew quarters for the Penobscot yard.
Some passengers waiting for us up ahead. So we're going to make a brief stop to let them on board. Got quite a few people today. Wow. It's pretty good. So they're going to board the back of the RDC. This is our yard office here. We're just pulling forward so that they can use the stone for boarding. pick up a few more people in Whitehaven, and then we are non-stop from there to Jim Thorpe. Our arrival time is 11:05. The Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway, the first trip of the day, leaves at 11 o'clock, and we will pass them as we approach the station. Always, guys, looking at houses alongside the tracks, and I like these two here. They've got nice decks on the back. Actually, all of these do. Be a great place to watch trains. And they look big enough that they'd have room for all my hobbies, too. Someday, guys, someday. Off to the Crestwood Industrial Park. So as we're getting ready to cross over 437, which heads down into Whitehaven, you can see the fog has gotten a lot denser. I should say remained a lot denser. It was like this when I drove up this morning.
In just a moment, we'll pass through the 1,726 foot long Whitehaven Tunnel, located 3 miles from the town for which it's named. The tunnel was bored for the mountain by the Central Railroad of New Jersey in the 1860s. The appropriate name, Tunnel Road, will be directly above us. The switch to our right side as we emerge from the southern portal of the Whitehaven Tunnel. We'll go for 2 tunnels today. Whitehaven is the longest tunnel. It's actually the straightest tunnel as well. You can look forward to backwards and see both ends of the tunnel. The next tunnel we'll go through below Whitehaven is Rockport. And Rockport's actually a curved tunnel, and the only curved tunnel we have here on our railroad as well.
Check that out. There's still quite a bit of ice. Even though we've had a good week and a half where we've been well above freezing, we're finally getting temperatures in the 50s and 60s during the day. You see it in Jim Thorpe too. You see it in Nesquehoning. There's just a lot of spots with some really thick ice. And if it's in the shade, it could literally take weeks to melt.
Former Lehigh Valley Railroad Stone Engine House on the right of the train here in just a moment as we come along to Wanda Street. This is now the Whitehaven Community Library and Visitor Center. There's a circular brick pattern in the parking lot that marks the spot where the turntable was once located. The town of Whitehaven is named for Johannes White, co-founder of the Lehigh Coal Navigation Company. The Lehigh Canal began here in Whitehaven, ran south to east in Pennsylvania, while the Lehigh Valley and Jersey Central Railroads ran from opposite sides of Main Street. These made Whitehaven a key point in the anthracite coal shipping network, and the town prospered accordingly. A flood washed down the canal in 1862, leaving the railroad as the only means for transporting freight and passengers from north to south. We will be pausing here in Whitehaven to board a few more passengers. During the stop, we ask that no one get off the train except for designated train crew members. And the old engine house just coming up on our right here right now. That will go for the free grade crossings of Whitehaven, and we'll be at the station for a couple minutes.
Alright, and there's that circular brick pattern in the parking lot. That was the old turntable, and this was the old Lehigh Valley engine house. parking lot of the strip mall there, you can see what used to be a Union Pacific caboose that has now been repainted as the Delaware and Hudson. And coming up on our station stop here on the left, those of you who've been watching the channel for a while will know that this is also when we run the bike train. This is where we unload the bikes and the passengers. The D&L trail is just down the hill on this pathway here, and it's a depending whose measurement you go by, a 25 or 26 mile pedal back to Jim Thorpe. Alright, it looks like we do have a couple passengers getting on board. Luckily they got here just in time.
We'll cross over to State Park Hiking and Biking Trail. You might have guessed it before, a right-of-way in the Central Railroad of New Jersey. This trail is a portion of 165 miles down one Lehigh National Heritage Corridor. If you're to ride one of our popular bike trains departing our Jim Thorpe station select weekends during the spring and summer, it's also the same path to fly down for your 25-mile trip from White Haven back down to Jim Thorpe. We'll also cross the Lehigh River for our first of our 4 times here. We'll trace its eastern bank all the way down to Independence Junction, 14 miles to our south. Now, the Lehigh River is a popular adventure for thousands of visitors each year. The river flows 109 miles into the Delaware River and is known for its numerous Class 2 and Class 3 rapids. It's not unusual to see dozens of rafters and kayakers enjoying a trip down to Lehigh during the warmer months of the year. The name Lehigh comes from a Algonquin phrase, where there are forks. Besides rafting and kayaking, the river is also a popular fishing location, hosting a variety of species including trout, smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, martin, and catfish. In 1818, the Pennsylvania General Assembly gave away the rights to the Lehigh River, but it was owned by the Lehigh Coal and Navigation Company, and used for transporting coal throughout the region. This was the only example in United States history where the states did not own the water rights to a river, and in 1965 a bill was passed rescinding the LCN ownership of the Lehigh River, and it was given back to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
So what you're looking at, guys, is the start of the project to replace the Interstate 80 bridges, both of them. Looks like they're getting the forms for the new bridge piers in place. They've got some of the concrete poured. Looking ready to start pouring some of the rest. It's a multi-year project. Unfortunately, this beautiful new trailhead and parking area is closed during the construction, although you can still bike through on the trail. And this is the first of 4 Lehigh River crossings on this trip. We are now into Lehigh Gorge State Park, and we will remain in here until just before the branch to Jim Thorpe. Our last grade crossing until the courthouse crossing just before the Jim Thorpe station. This is one of the most remote areas in Pennsylvania, and also, in my opinion at least, one of the most beautiful. Now, in years past, this was the Lehigh Valley Railroad, and what would have branched off right here, or what did branch off right here and run into the woods there, is the Lehigh Valley Railroad's Hayes Creek branch. That went from here to Hazleton, and it was designed to alleviate congestion at Old Penn Haven Junction. You can see off to our running left, the old roadbed starts to climb. Shortly ahead of us, you'll see the old bridge abutments where it used to cross the tracks and then cross the Lehigh River. And if you want a good exploration of this area, my friend Kevin Salisbury just came back here and did a series of videos. I'll put a link in the description of this video to his channel. I highly recommend you check it out. He even found photos of the old bridge that crossed over here. Now the abutment on this side you can really only see during the winter. I can only film one side, but I'll pick this one because I've caught the other abutment and other videos. There it is right there. So that would have crossed over. Going over a little bit of land here. And as we round the corner, it'll take a minute to come into view. You'll see the old bridge supports still standing in the Lehigh River, but the bridge itself is long gone. And there, hopefully looking through the trees, you're able to see the old bridge supports right there. That's a good view. You can see those year-round, but they're certainly more visible in the winter than the summer. And the D&L trail, which is the former CNJ right-of-way, continues along the other bank of the river. And if you bike that trail, you can bike right up to one of those, actually two of those old supports where they're on land. We'll be running alongside the Lehigh River for most of the rest of the trip, and we will still cross over it 3 more times. So if you heard Tim, we're entering the Rockport Tunnel, which is our only curved tunnel. And the advantage this tunnel gives us is it literally cuts out about 1 mile of river. If this railroad continued to follow the river instead of going through the tunnel, the trip would be 1 mile longer. You'll see in just a minute when we emerge from this tunnel, the river will still be right there. But trust me, there's a peninsula that juts out to the west quite a distance. And here we are, you can see the river curving back in to meet us. And now you can also see the D&L trail has lost a lot of elevation. It was much more on our level, at about the same elevation as us before we went into the tunnel. Now it's dropped down considerably. And in the middle of all that is the Rockport trailhead for the D&L trail. You can't see it from the train, but it's a popular spot for people to start and end rides. Or if you're doing the bike train, that's a great midway through the ride. You can use the restrooms, you can have a lunch break, just take a rest and enjoy the scenery. Lehigh Gorge. This is Tank Hollow Creek Curve. My favorite stretch of the Lehigh River. And why do I like it? It's because it's a little bit wider and more open. So you get some nice sweeping vistas of the river and the mountain. You got an island in the middle here. See now our track has lost elevation relative to the D&L trail. I'd say we're pretty close in elevation now, and pretty soon we'll be to Independence Junction, and that's where we cross the river and parallel the D&L trail the entire way back into Jim Thorpe. Crossing the Lehigh River for the second of 4 times on this trip. I love that stone wall. That was built probably in the 1800s. They don't make them like they used to.
Crossing
here,
the Lehigh River for our second or 4 times here in Lehigh Gorge.
I'll let Tim talk.
Bring us to Independence Junction, and the railroad appears to become double track again. The track off to our right belongs to the Norfolk Southern Railroad. This segment entering Independence Junction from the west is the Ashford secondary track to Hazleton. And from here south is part of the Norfolk Southern Lehigh line to Allentown, parallels for the next several miles starting here at Independence Junction. Then a 6,107-acre Lehigh Gorge State Park stretches from the Francis E. Walter Dam in Luzerne County to Jim Thorpe, and is characterized by the state as a deep, steep long gorge carved by a river with thick vegetation, rock outcroppings, and waterfalls. The park offers outdoorsmen several hunting opportunities, and photographers with hundreds of locations to capture the beauty, no matter the season, inside the Lehigh Gorge State Park. This area in the middle of nowhere is known as Old Penn Haven. It's the turnaround location for our Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway excursion. It operates out of our Jim Thorpe station.
Alright, and hopefully you guys have been able to hear Tim. This is where we do the runaround for the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway. Should look familiar now. The rest of this trip is the identical route to the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway. That means we're only about 8 miles from Jim Thorpe, guys. We're almost there already. This trip went fast. And interestingly, I have not been on the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway since December 23rd. So it's finally good to get back into Lehigh Gorge. Coming up on our little waterfall here. See how it's running. Yeah, that's actually doing pretty good. We are still in a pretty bad drought in northeastern Pennsylvania, but I gotta imagine a lot of that is from the snow melt off of recent weeks. And just looking out the rear cab of 9164 as we move through Lehigh Gorge State Park. And I don't know why, guys, it took me till just now to realize this is my first time through Lehigh Gorge in an RDC. Been through here obviously behind Diesel, behind 2102, going up to Tunkhannock last year. The first time on an RDC, even though they have run through here before.
We'll pass underneath what appears to be a footbridge suspended above the tracks in the Lehigh River. Still Tidewater oil pipeline. It was the first successful oil pipeline in the world, originally running from Corryville to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, later expanded onto Bayonne, New Jersey. Today, the twin pipes carry fiber optic cables, while the railroad and the river here happens to occur, and we'll just be passing underneath it right now.
Alright guys, this is Oxbow Curve. Another one of the very tight curves along our main line on the Lehigh Division. Looking back at the old Tidewater oil pipeline, now carries fiber optic cable. And looking downriver to Jim Thorpe. Got a bicyclist and their dog down here waving at the train, which is cool. Wave back. Yeah, you can see we've still got quite a bit of fog. We've got 5 hours to enjoy Jim Thorpe. Hopefully the sun's going to come out. According to the forecast, it is. No rain in the forecast, thankfully. Should be a nice day. Temperatures in the high 50s. And I'll tell you what, we've had one of the coldest winters of our lives here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Every bit of sunshine and fresh air and warmth feels just so unbelievably good right now. This is Hetchel's Curve. Watch out for black bears. See that sign, guys, all the time, and I still have yet to see a black bear. A lot of people, when I work on the Lehigh Gorge trains, they ask me, have I seen a bear? They're disappointed as I am when I have to say no. But black bears are mostly nocturnal. And, you know, a lot of people have seen them during the day, but the odds, unfortunately, are not as good as you would think. Alright guys, as we go through the rock cut on the other side, we're going to be looking for our friends Ian, Cam, and Luca. River for the third time at Glenanoco. Glenanoco Falls, a triple waterfall, climbs, well, it doesn't climb up the mountain, it falls down the mountain through that ravine. You can see a little bit of it through the trees. Got some exciting news about that, guys. That trail, that hiking trail up to Glenanoco, which has been closed for safety reasons for a number of years. There are plans in the works to rebuild that trail to make it more safe and eventually reopen it. And I'll let you know, guys, if that's able to happen, I'll let you know when it's reopened. It was very popular, and I think reopening it is going to make a lot of people really happy.
Just Tamaqua, Port Clinton, and Reading. And as we go over the bridge, if you look to your left downriver, you should be able to get your first glimpse of Jim Thorpe. And we will be arriving in town in just a few moments.
Alright, we're passing through the Coalport Bridge now. That is the freight bridge that opened in 2020 off to our right. That is our main line. So guys, we are leaving the main line, getting onto the Jim Thorpe branch. We will go over the Nesquehoning Bridge through Nesquehoning Junction, and then we're just a couple minutes away from Jim Thorpe. We're slowing our pace just a little bit because we do have to let the
running train to enter so they can go down to the tunnel in front of us. We'll pass the abandoned PQ switch tower on the right of the train. This tower controlled train movements at this location until April of 1972. So we'll be stopped here most likely for a couple minutes as we wait for the Gorge train, or sorry, the running train to go by, and then we'll continue on into Jim Thorpe.
Alright guys, I cut myself up mid-sentence because we have an exciting surprise here for you. We're running a little bit fast today, which is not a bad thing. We're a little bit ahead of schedule. Here's the PQ switch tower that's been abandoned since 1972. That's no surprise. But we are going to stop just shy of Nesquehoning Junction here. Why? Well, because the OSJT has to come through. That is the excursion train coming from Reading to Jim Thorpe. And here it is, guys, 9167. Now, how cool is that, guys? I didn't even get the words out before it happened, but that may be a first on our railroad. A solo RDC passing a solo RDC. For the Reading trip today, they are just using 9167 the same way we are just using 9164. Okay, and now that the Reading train is through, we are going to continue our trip through Nesquehoning Junction into Jim Thorpe. I wanted to show you guys something. You can see a lot of track work going on in the station, and you can also see our new rail cars parked off on what is now track number 7. That used to be track 5, and now the ones in front of it are 5, 6, and it's parked on 7. So a lot of changes out here in the rail yard this year. I haven't been down to see it firsthand in a while. We'll do some video out here fairly soon. There's another surprise coming. Not today, but in an upcoming video. There's one of our water tankers for the Iron Horse Rambles. And this is the Route 903 bridge coming up ahead. Now we got to slow our pace considerably. The 11 o'clock Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway train has to depart before we can enter the station, so we will probably have to pause and wait just a minute or two. smoke you see up ahead, that is the other RDC, number 9167. Oh, and it's also the diesel pulling the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway. There's 2 plumes of smoke. Let's see which one we got today. Number 2013. Let's give them a good wave. Cars on it today. Guys, these domes are so popular, they even sell out this time of year. So if you want to ride one, buy your tickets well in advance. I don't want to see you disappointed if you get here and find out you can't get tickets. And I should note something else exciting too, guys. As of Monday, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway goes back to 7-day-a-week operation for the rest of the year. Yes, that's a full month earlier than we normally do. Same idea as moving up these Reading and Pittston trips.
Alrighty, now that the Gorge train is out of our way, we'll be entering the station. Once again, once we come to a full complete stop, we'll exit from the back of the car here. Please watch your step and take your time. We hope you have a lovely afternoon here at Jim Thorpe. Once again, we'll see you back at the station beginning boarding at 3:45. We'll be departing for Whitehaven, Penobscot, and Pittston at 4:05.
Alright, and here's our other RDC from Reading, number 9167. Believe it or not, guys, I still haven't ridden in this one and filmed it for you. I'm gonna have to do that someday. And up ahead is the Jim Thorpe station. Jim Thorpe surrounded by a little bit of lingering fog. It is looking better though. Guys, and that wraps up our morning ride on 9164. I'll pick it up with a little bit in the afternoon, but for the most part I've shown you everything I want to.
Thank you very much. I wanted to know that information.
Yeah.
We were trying we're planning on doing that, but
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The Reading Outer Station train will be passing through the station on the track closest to the building. Please stand behind the yellow line for your safety. Once again, the train will be passing through the station on the track closest to the building. Please stand behind the yellow line for your safety. Thank you.